Welcome to Jerry Show's movie review time, or actually TV series slash movie review, since the title we have in question is both filmed as a series as well as a long feature film. This one is from Finland. It's called Tuntematon sotilas in its original title, or Unknown Soldier in the English. Now, this 2017 release was kind of intended for a film, and that's how it ended up being around 3 hours long. Now, this is a sort of a remake, as this book, this novel, this whole movie is based on, is actually filmed twice before, already in the 50s and then later on in the 80s, and now it's the third version. However, it's not just a remake as such, because this is also based on the novel, but also the kind of a manuscript, which is kind of an unedited version of the book. So it's a different story, even though it's also the same story with the same characters and kind of a plot line, if you will. But I'm actually going to talk you more about this series version, which was the version I wanted to see. First of all, it's about 90 minutes longer than the movie version, and also I found this version easier for me to watch, and as it happens, I just watched it on the New Year's Eve and the New Year's Day of 2019. So kind of a nice way to change the year. Now, before I actually start talking about this, let me come clear. I'm a kind of a war movie fan. I'm also a fan of this director, Aku Louhimies, because he has a kind of a gritty way of doing movies and series. So for me, it was a kind of a mandatory, kind of a must-to-see kind of a thing. First of all, for these two reasons, but also because it's kind of a Finnish historical thing. So lots of reasons for for me to watch this, and I must say I enjoyed it. So 5 reasons why to watch Tuntematon sotilas, no matter if you're Finnish or otherwise. Let's start with the reason number one. Well, first of all, this is a good thing to watch. It's a good series, and what I've been told, it's also the movie version is very good. It's hard to say which one is better. After all, I've not seen the movie, but those who have seen both versions told me that the series is kind of a more in-depth. It's maybe even more gritty, and it's more kind of a raw, harsher version, considering that the language is milder in the movie version, it seems, and this goes more in depth with the characters, and as such, I guess, with the storyline as well. So number one reason would be it's a good movie, it's a good series to watch. And why? Well, we will get to those with the points to follow. Like I said, the second point be the reason to watch is the director Aku Louhimies. Now, he's kind of a controversial director for so many reasons. There have been claims about kind of a ways that he's directing things. He's not always Mr. Nice Guy. It's not most enjoyable things. He can go really harsh and hard on those actors and actresses, and as such, some people say it's not very nice to work with him. Well, that might be the case. I'm not in position to deny that, but for me as an audience member, what matters to me is that how does the end look like? How does the end feel like? Am I able to enjoy it? And so forth. And yes, most of his movies and TV series, what I have been possibilities to watch, are just really, really nice. I mean, they are not nice in the sense that they are those good time movies. They're more the kind of movies that make you sad, angry, sullen. I don't know, there are lots of ways to go this, because it's all about being gritty. And that could be like his moniker or kind of nickname, because Louhimies presents people in a very realistic way. And in such a realistic way, it always becomes kind of a dark and, I don't know, depressing in some ways. But to me, it's one of the reasons I enjoy watching his movies and series. Because the thing is, it doesn't just bring out the, most beautiful sides, the best sides of human beings, but also the darker aspects, which are, in my opinion, very important when you're doing a storytelling. Have multifaceted ways of telling the story, creating it, and showing the characters and actions and whatever. So overall, it's much thanks to the director and obviously the rest of the crew as well. I mean, everything from photography, not photography, but shooting it on the film or whatever, and the actor work and whatever. So it's basically this kind of a group effort that makes this movie so good and so enjoyable, or in this case, the series. Point number 3 would be, this is very visual series, and of course it's a movie as well. This is a very nice way to show Finland, the nature, the forest especially, but also the nature in general, like lakes and kind of a mood, be it winter time or summertime. It is very Finnish movie in so many ways. It's really visual, and it can be really compared to so many Hollywood projects, be it about Vietnam War or World War II or whatever. This is a good way to see total different climate, weather, and all that stuff. So definitely, even for the visual reasons, this is definitely stuff to view, watch, enjoy. Number 4, this is a historical war, and it's almost as important as a part of telling you the Finnish history, how the war efforts went, how the fights were fought, how the people could live through the war and these battles, and historical figures. There are also some documentary images here and there, or pieces of filmography, which are to support the storytelling and give you kind of a background information. So especially non-Finns, this is a very good way to learn about Finland's past wars and fights and kind of a Finnish mindset also. So in the historical context, very, very important to watch and see the thing. Number 5, as I also already mentioned, I'm a big fan of gritty way of creating series and movies, even video games. And grittiness is also so many times, especially with this particular director, also tied to sort of grimness, which is very much present in this series. So it's about not romanticizing war and the efforts that took place here. It's more about showing you how the people would experience this war, how it traumatized an entire generation, not only men in war, but also the women in war, and behind those lines, taking care of families missing their husbands in war, some people missing their fathers, people getting shot, people getting killed, the enormous struggle that took place between Finland and Russia. And this is not taking sides. This is not about preaching or being that political thing. It's about people who went to war. Some survived, many didn't. And as such, I think it's a very neutral way of, telling the story of this novel that this movie or series is based on. So very enjoyable in so many different ways. And I think it's very important that even though this is a Finnish series / movie about Finnish war or Finnish soldiers going to war and whatever, I think it's very, very important to stay in a neutral way, because otherwise this would be just another propaganda film. No matter what the war is, usually when movies are about that, when they are preaching about this and that, it kind of gets cringy or annoying. But this is doing the good way, and as such, I can totally recommend watching it. And if you have the chance, go for the series, not for the movie. Series more in depth. And since it's gonna be 3 hours versus about 5 hours or so, it's not gonna be a walk in the park. So give it a chance and watch it if you can. It's a good war thing, so don't miss it. Thank you for watching, and as always, should you have any comments, opinions, whatever, do them on the comment box below, and see you soon with more reviews to come. Bye bye.